When a person is convicted of a crime, a judge has to decide what the appropriate response is and how that might help bring about positive outcomes. One interesting thing that can contribute to that is what's called restorative justice. This is a form of justice that focuses on repair to the harm done as opposed to punishment. And it often involves, at the judge's discretion and the victim's desire, mediation between the victim and the offender. Now, one of the interesting things about this is it's a pretty easy procedure and it has some very significant outcomes. Participation in restorative justice predicts improved outcomes on all of the following. People feel that they were able to tell their story and that their opinion was considered. They feel that the process or outcome was fair. They feel that the judge or mediator was fair. They feel that the offender was held accountable. An apology or forgiveness was offered. There's a better perception of the other party at the end of all of this. The victim is less upset about the crime. The victim is less afraid of re-victimization. Those are absolutely critical. And then one more is that there's a lower recidivism rate. Offenders who go through restorative justice are less likely to commit crimes again in the future. All of these are very significant outcomes and can be predicted with this one relatively simple intervention of restorative justice. And so when a judge is trying to make a decision, this is one thing they can keep in mind in trying to predict a particular outcome. Now, in the world of predictive analytics, where you're using data to try to predict outcomes, the restorative justice is a very simple one based on simple analyses. Within data science and predictive analytics, you'll see more complicated things, like, for instance, whether a person is more likely to click on a particular button or make a purchase based on a particular offer. You're going to see medical researchers looking at things that can predict the risk of a disease as well as the responsiveness of particular treatments. You'll also look at things like the classification of photos, and what's being predicted there is whether a machine can accurately predict what a human would do if they did the same particular task. These are all major topics within the field of predictive analytics. Now, the relationship between data science and predictive analytics is very vaguely like this. Data science is there, predictive analytics is there, and there's a lot of overlap. An enormous amount of the work in predictive analytics is done by data science researchers. There are a few important meeting points at that intersection between the two. So predictions that involve difficult data, if you're using unstructured data like social media posts or video, that doesn't fit into a nice rows and columns of a spreadsheet. You're probably going to need data science to do that. Similarly, predictions that involve sophisticated models like the neural network we have here, those require some really high-end programming to make them happen. And so data science is going to be important to those particular kinds of predictive analytics projects. On the other hand, it's entirely possible to do predictions without the full data science toolkit. If you have clean quantitative data sets, nice rows and columns of numbers, then you're in good shape. And if you're using a common model like a linear regression or a decision tree, both of which are extremely effective, but they're also pretty easy to do and pretty easy to interpret. So in these situations, you can do useful and accurate predictions without having to have the entire background of data science. Also, it's possible to do data science without necessarily being involved in the business of predictions. If you're doing things like clustering cases or counting how often something happens, or mapping, like what we see here, or a data visualization, these can be significant areas of data science, depending both on the data that you're bringing in and the methods that you're using, but they don't involve predictions per se. And so what this lets you know is that while data science can contribute significantly to the practice of predictive analytics, they are still distinguishable fields, and depending on your purposes, you may or may not need the full range of data science skills, the full toolkit to get to your predictive purposes. But either way, you're going to be able to get more insight into how people are likely to react and how you can best adapt to those situations.